we're gonna get something from you. So, what is, I would say, your most like engaging ghost story that like convinced you that like, okay, ghosts exist, like spirits exist, whatever you want to call them, like.
When I moved into an apartment 24 years ago, we moved from one state to the other, and we got there 6 months later. Cabinet doors started to be open, refrigerator open by itself. Clothes would be all over the floor. I thought it was the kids, but no, it was a little girl that had passed. And apparently, the apartments are buried on an Indian mound
Oh
type
shit.
deal. Indians are they're buried underneath. But it was a little girl, and then another few months later, a little boy had come in. That little boy has attached to us because we moved to a different apartment about 9 years later, and he followed us to that one. And he would open up the cabinets, he would open up front doors, he would scatter our clothes everywhere. Um, yeah. And then I'm in a house now, and there was a man in this house, and he would stand there. I can't sleep. I got to sleep with full clothes on because he
Ugh.
gives me the creeps on that one. Yes,
Yeah.
he will stand there in front of your bed and just stare at you like,
Ugh,
"What are
dude.
you doing?"
Ew.
And I'm going, no, okay, shoo, go away, go pester the kids or the dogs."
Yo, so
Yeah.
do you think there's a weird, okay, I've heard that actually a lot in ghost stories that people have told me. It's like a lot of the times they're like in the foot of the bed or by the bed. Do
Mm,
you think that this is maybe a the same spirit that people are interacting with that is doing this? Because like I've kind of thought that a little bit, because like you know how there's the hat man, the quote unquote hat man and stuff, where it's like
yeah.
people have seen the same spirit. My biggest thing is like if people are seeing a like spirit at the foot of their bed, would that be a similar one? Because I mean I don't know like the structure of the ghost world, right? Like there are like particular types of spirits. Like you got the succubuses that like drain your energy. You've got uh, like the what do they call those? The night demons that would like sit on your chest. What are those
Yes.
called? Like you had those ones.
I
Um,
don't know.
like I don't know, like either. It's just like I've always had a theory that like people who see those ones are seeing the same spirit. Um, Cause like here's another question. Have you ever had like family reach out to you in the spirit realm or like through that at all?
Well, I have a, I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of, my mother used to call it a woman's sense. Like,
Right.
I can sense things. I will start feeling sick or dizzy or nauseous. Something's not right. The world isn't right. There's something wrong. I have come to terms with this over the years. Um, like, there was something wrong one day. There's something about to happen. Somebody's getting hurt. When I feel this, death comes upon them. It's really weird. I don't understand it. It's just really weird.
I actually feel
Oh,
that actually. Uh,
um, but it was they somebody I had to call everybody, whatever. It could be like you know, if I'm hanging around you or whatever, it could be your family or my family or somebody that we know. It's somebody that I have known. Well, these two boys went hunting with their uncle one day, and apparently the um one boy was doing something and the other one tripped over a log, and the uncle had fallen on top of him and shot the other boy.
oh
So
my
ran
god.
him to the hospital. Ran him to the hospital, and he was dying more or less. Couldn't fix it. Couldn't. cure it. And I felt that. I felt the pain, and I could tell you where it would happen, where the pain was or something. And my mother used to call it a woman's intuition, a
I call
woman's
that
second sense.
the fucking force. Like, holy shit. Like that's crazy.
But it's a really weird feeling, and I hate when that feeling comes on because either that day or the next day is when we find out somebody has passed, somebody has died. Now, my uncle had died, and the other siblings were there, my aunts and uncle and my mother. And I had turned to my sister at one point and I said, "He's next, and it's soon." Means my oldest uncle.
That's so
And
ominous. That's so
oh, it
fucking
was bad.
ominous.
It was bad. And then I said, "My mother will be next." And then she's like, "Oh, get out of here. They still got a long time." Well, my uncle had passed like the night, Christmas Day, Christmas night. And then my mother was put in the hospital right thereafter. She couldn't even go to his funeral or anything. And then in February, she had died.
Damn.
I called it. I called it.
That's crazy.
You
Like
know,
I've had some
it's sad. It really
I've
is.
had like one thing that's close to that. I wouldn't even say it's close to that because it's not. Like I have like a sixth sense on like if something bad's gonna happen as well. Um, but
Yes.
like it's not to that degree. However, there was one night. This is my little ghost story that makes me believe in that. So I had a buddy.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna tell anybody his name, but really close friend of mine. Kind of a mentor in a way, especially in certain things in my life. And we used to smoke weed all the time. So like one day we're hanging out, we're smoking, and we're in his driveway just talking. And he said some shit to me, and it was like, "Yo, man, like if I ever die, I'm gonna haunt the fuck out of you." I was like, "Okay, like I'll do the same shit." Well, like
No.
so
Let's go.
dude, like this is weird. And he was dealing with some stuff, and I guess he had taken a bad batch of something. But he ended up falling down the stairs, and he hit his head on the wall. And what sucks is that like he had messaged me and a few other friends the night that happened, wanting to hang out, and like he reached out to us, but he was home alone, and his family was on vacation. And so they come back to him basically laying at the bottom of the stairs, and he had been there for like however long. And with a like traumatic brain injury, that's usually like a death sentence anyways. And like leaving it unattended for that long. And so they ended up taking him to the hospital and shit. And I remember I was like worried because my mom knew all these people, like he was close with us. So she's texting me shit, and she's like, he's in the hospital. And I had this weird feeling that just nothing was gonna be okay with this. And then like in the middle of the night, like I had worked so hard. Like this was slightly before like I really got on like VR with you guys a lot. I had been fucking getting, slaved. I was tired, passed out, like, that warm feeling of tired where you can't control it. You will wake up. You know what I mean? You're like, "Oh shit." And in the middle of the night, I snap awake and I make direct eye contact with my friend. Like direct eye contact for like a split second. Like he was like this, bro. Like he was like mid motion. He comes and he turns and he looks at me,
Uh-uh.
and like I look at him, and then I'm like blinking and then he's gone. Like he's just fucking gone. Like he was there, clear as day. Like I
Wow.
wasn't dreaming about him. I wasn't none of that shit, bro. You know what I mean? Like he was just there. And like I had this weird feeling of everything's gonna be okay, just swoosh over me. And like I realized in that moment that like, yo, he kept his promise. You know what I mean? Like, And that kind of blew my mind. Like,
Yeah.
it really changed my perspective on like relationships with people and what that means. You know what I mean? Like in a more spiritual sense, I guess, where like, people are connected in a more
Yeah.
in-depth way than just the superficial fucking meat sack sound waves that we're used to, like there's there's